last left where we left last day. Actually, we completed up to page number 42 that I have marked. Page number 42 we had completed. Let's continue. Now, it happened that the son and daughter, Doris and Cyril, son and daughter Cyril and Doris, they were trying to convince their mother that what mother was doing, she was doing a bit thick. She was doing too much with them, because they work hard, they work 8 hours a day at their office outside, and mother told that she also does the same. She also does 8 hours a day. She does work 8 hours a day at home, but both of them, their daughter and son, they did not agree that this was same. Now at this, Mrs. Pearson told that you would see what I would do in the weekend, because in the weekend I want to do nothing on the weekend days, and she told also that I want to go, for a visit, that I want to go out the weekend. Might go off for the weekend perhaps, mother told. This is my plan for weekends. At this, the daughter was very much afraid. Why? Because, and the same time she was surprised also, because in her life so far, in her lifespan so far, she had not experienced that mother, she had not experienced that her mother was actually become so much arrogant in her behavior, and she was afraid of also. Okay, she was afraid of also. Now, Doris here, I'm reading from page number 43. Doris, go off for the weekend. When mother told that I might go off for weekend, the daughter was very much afraid of and become very much surprised as well. She asked, go off for weekend. Now mother told, why not? I could do with a change, stuck here day after day, week after week. If I don't need a change, who does? Her mother was telling. Why you are getting surprised? I have been stuck here day after day, week after week here. So if I don't want the change, then who requires the change? I must go in the weekend. The mother conveyed it to the daughter. The daughter told, but where would you go? Who would you go with? The daughter was asking to the mother. The mother told, that's my business. Mother, she is very rough and tough. She was very, very pungent, very sharp in her behavior, in her attitude. That's my business. You don't ask me where you should go and who you should go with, do you? The mother was telling to the daughter, you don't ask me if you don't take permission, and even you don't tell me that where you are going, with whom you are going, so why are you asking to me? Now daughter told, that's different. Now mother is telling, the only difference is that I'm a lot older and better able to look after myself, so it's you who should do the asking. So mother is telling, no, if there is a difference there, the difference is that I am a lot older than you and I am better able to look after myself. So if anybody is to be asked that where you would go or with whom you would go, it's you. That I should ask you where you would want to go and with whom you would go. Now Doris actually could not suppress the question that had come to her mind. The Doris asked these ultimately, did you fall or hit yourself with something? This idea had come to Doris' mind, that when she was conversing with her brother also, actually she asked her brother that really he had actually whether he knew that mother had fallen or not. So she asked this question, daughter asked this question to the mother, that did you fall or hit yourself with something? Because this idea had come to her mind that probably mother had got an injury in her brain, and That injury had made all the difference. And the girl asked this question to the daughter, sorry, to the mother. Now mother told, no, but I will hit you with something, girl, if you don't stop asking silly questions. The mother became very angry and told, no, I don't have, I did not fall down, or I did not have any injury in my brain, but if you don't stop asking such silly question, that I would definitely hit you with something. Now Doris tears, mouth open, ready to cry. Now Doris became like this, mouth open. She was so much surprised because in her age, 22 years old, she was 22 years old. So she had not experienced her mother behaving in such a way. She became so much surprised with mouth opened, and she was about to cry. She was thinking, oh, this is awful. This is, and she begins to cry. No, not passionately, but she started to cry. And at this mother, stop blabbering. Blabbering means crying. You are not a baby. Now mother is here also. Mother is very pungent, very sharp in her attitude. You are not a baby. If you are old enough to go out with Charlie Spence, you are old enough to behave properly. Now stop it. Now mother again told, mother chided, insulted, rebuked the daughter that you are grown up enough. So you must stop blabbering. You must stop crying. If you are old enough, if you are grown up enough to go with your boyfriend, then you are grown up enough to behave yourself, to stop crying, mother told with a very sharp attitude. Now in that juncture, George Pearson entered slept. George Pearson, the father, a husband to Mrs. Annie Pearson, he actually entered. He is about 50, fundamentally decent but solemn. Decent means he was looking very gentle. Solemn means serious. He was a serious-minded person, looking serious, self-important, pompous. Here, self-important and pompous is actually almost same meaning. It means that Mr. Pearson is having a good thinking about himself, a good elevated consideration about himself. Preferably, he should be a heavy, slow-moving type. He notices Doris's tears. So when he entered, okay, actually he came. He found that he must be slow-moving here. Our dramatist so told that whoever is going to play the role of that man, so he must be slow-moving and heavy. So he notices Doris's tears, and whenever the father saw that his daughter was crying. Now father, hello, what's this? Father told to his daughter, can't be anything to cry about. Father didn't ask the direct question that why you are crying. The father asked, there must not be any reason for your crying. Doris, you will see, Doris actually did not answer what has happened. Doris only told, you will see. Now Doris runs out, clipped with a sob or two on the way. Doris actually was crying, and he had gone out of that room. He was crying. George stares after her a moment. Stares means looked fixedly. George actually looked the way she had gone, and then she looks at Mrs. Pearson, and then she looks at his wife. Now George, did she say, you will see? George actually could not understand that why the daughter was crying, or what daughter actually did mean actually. So to be sure, he asked his wife, did she say you will see? His wife told yes. Now George, what did she mean? George, what did she mean? Better ask her. Wife here also. Wife now started her treatment towards her husband. Better ask her. Now George looks down again at the door, then at Mrs. Pearson. Now George looks down again to the door through which Doris had gone out, and then to his wife. Then he notices the stout that Mrs. Pearson raises for another sip, and now he noticed that his wife was drinking. His eyes almost blurred. Blurred means as if his eye became widened out of excitement, out of bewilderment, out of amazement, out of extreme surprise. His eyes became, widened. He could not believe his eyes, what he was watching in front of him, because he saw his wife was drinking. What was his reaction then? George, stout! He just shouted, stout! Mrs. Pearson remained very cool and calm. Yes. Uh, Amazed, was very much surprised. What are you drinking for? What are you drinking stout for? What for means why. Why are you drinking stout? Why are you drinking? Pearson, because I fancied some. Fancied means I just wanted some. I imagined, I wish to have some. George, at this time of day, this is, don't forget, this is afternoon. So, at this time of day, yes, what's wrong with it at this time of day? The wife remained very casual. Wife told, yes, what's wrong with it at this time of day? Now, George, bewildered. George was very much surprised. Nothing, I suppose, any, but I have never seen you do it before. Now, being puzzled, the husband also could not understand because they had been married for so long years. They are having two children. Uh, the husband is for the first time the husband had experienced, the husband saw that his wife was drinking. So the husband asked, no, Annie Pearson was a name. So the husband asked, Annie, I have not seen you before drinking. Now wife is saying, well, you are seeing me now. You are seeing me now. It's good. You have not seen earlier. Okay, no problem. You are seeing me now. No, George, with heavy distaste, getting disgusted. He did not like the way wife was talking to him. Yes, and I don't like it. I told, I don't like it. It doesn't look right. I'm surprised at you. The husband actually wanted to convey to his wife that I don't like it. You know, the husbands always, probably all the husbands always try to convince to their wife when they are not satisfied that I don't like this, I don't like this, like this. Now Pearson told, well, that ought to be a nice change for you. Well, wife told, okay, well, you might not like that, but that might be a good change for you. And the husband is asking, what do you mean? What do you want to say? Now wife was telling, it must be some time since you were surprised at me, George. Wife was telling, you know, the wife was not apologizing what she was doing, and adding to these, she was showing her attitude and telling such ways. I says, it's good, isn't it? For since long days, since you were surprised at me, you know, for long days you had not been surprised. So today you got surprised at me. It's good. It's a good change for you, isn't it? Now, George, I don't like surprises. I'm all for a steady going on. You might know that by this time, you know, by this time means you must know, because you have been married for long years. So you should know that what I like, what I dislike. So by this time you must know that I don't like surprises. By the way, I forget to tell you, this morning I didn't want any tea. And the husband told to the wife, anyway, this morning I have forgotten to tell that I don't want any tea this evening. Special snooker match night at club tonight, and a bit of supper going on. So no tea. So the husband told that at the club we are having special snooker game. It's one kind of game. So tonight a bit of snooker, a night at the club, special snooker match there at the club tonight, and a bit of supper going. Supper means here dinner. So after that match, dinner will be there. So I don't want any tea. Now what the wife was telling, that's all right, that's all right, there isn't any. The wife told, okay, no problem, that's all right that you don't want tea. There isn't any means I have not prepared tea. Astonished, George, astonished, he became surprised. You mean you didn't get any ready? Now see, he told that I don't want tea because I'm having a snooker match, a special night snooker match there at the club, so I don't want tea. Now when wife told, okay, that's good, because no tea has been prepared, at this the husband is getting astonished, and again the husband was asking to his wife, it means you have not prepared tea. No. Pearson, yes, and a good thing too, as it's turned out. And the wife told, yes, I have not prepared. And it's a good thing, isn't it? It's turned out means as it resulted in a good thing, because had I prepared your tea, then it might be wasted because you don't want your tea now. So it's a good thing. Now George aggravated. First thing that he was very much surprised. He did not like the behavior of his wife, and now he heard that no tea has been prepared for him. Now he's getting very angry and very aggressive also. That's all very well, but suppose I had wanted some. Now the husband was asking to his wife, okay, that's good. That I agree to you. I agree with you that no tea has been prepared, and I don't want tea this evening. That's good. But suppose I had wanted it, then Mrs. Pearson, my goodness, listen to this man. And wait, because I don't get a tea for him that he doesn't even want. The wife is telling, no, listen. Oh God, listen to this man. Why he is getting angry? Because I had not prepared tea for him that he did not want. You ever tried that at the club? Now here, getting very pungent, in a very sharp mood, the wife was asking to this to her husband, have you ever tried it at club? It's good that you have not prepared. Generally it's supposed to us that we are also surprised. The question is, how much time it would take to prepare a tea? 3 minutes? Maximum 5 minutes? So actually the thing is not like this. The thing that Mrs. Pearson was so careful that always he used to prepare the tea for the family members before they would enter the house. And whenever they would enter, immediately within seconds, they had been provided with the tea. So that made their habit. So immediately, you saw, the son was also asking for tea. Here, the husband was also getting angry because the tea was not ready. So immediately, whenever they would get into the house, they knew the tea was ready for them. It would not take time. It would not take a single minute. It would actually, they were provided with within seconds. Tea were provided to them, and that is the reason that actually they are getting. And so this was Mrs. Pearson's fault also, because she had made all these habit of her family members. Whatever. Now Pearson told, okay, you were angry because your tea has not been prepared, and you told that you did not want this tea this evening also, and you were getting angry. So have you ever tried this at club? George, tried what at the club? Tried what at the club? The husband asks Pearson. Going up to the bar and telling them you don't want a glass of beer, but you are annoyed because they haven't already poured it out. Now the husband was not clear what the wife wanted to mean by saying that ever tried at the club. So the wife made it clear. Have you ever tried that you must go to the bar of your club and you become very much annoyed because you don't want beer, but why the boys at the bar did not pour the beer in a glass for you, though you did not want this? Have you ever tried this? Try that on them and see what you get. And mother told, the wife told to the husband, go and try this at club. As you are doing this, that you told you did not want tea, but still you are getting angry because tea has not been prepared for you. So do the same at your club. Go to the bar of your club, and you should be annoyed with the people at the bar because they have not poured a beer in the glass, though you don't need the beer. Have you ever tried it? Go and try it there, and then see what you get there. Now, George, I don't know what you are talking about. George could not understand. George told. The husband was telling, I can't understand what you are telling all about. Now, here, the wife was telling, they would laugh at you even more than they do now. The wife told, they would laugh at you. They would make joke out of you. They would laugh at you, They would criticize you. They would laugh at you. Even more than they do now. Means the wife wanted to say that every day the people at the club, the people at the bar in your club, they laugh at you. They make joke out of you. And if you do the same as you are doing here, if you do the same at the club, they would do the more. Now George indignantly means losing his patience, being impatiently. Laugh at me? They don't laugh at me. They're getting angry when wife told that the people at the club, they laugh at you. It's an insult, it's a sort of insult. The George could not tolerate this. George told, no, they don't laugh at me. Now wife is telling, of course they do. You ought to have found that out by this time. And wife told, you should found this, you should know this by this time. Because the people at the club, they laugh at you. Anybody else would have done in your place, if it would be anybody, if it would be other people, then he might have found it, that the people at the club, they laugh at you. You are one of their standing jokes, famous. Now wife is telling, they laugh at you, and you are one of their standing jokes. You are famous among them because they derive lots of enjoyment at laughing at you by making joke about you. They call you Pompium P. Pearson because they think you are slow and pompous. Do you know that they call you by the name Pompium P. Pearson? The wife told that this is their nickname. They call you by this name, Pompium P. Pearson, because they think you are slow and pompous. Pompous means here that you think yourself, you are having a very dignified consideration about yourself, and you are a bit slow. So that is the reason that they are given a name, at your back, Pompium P. Pearson. But my question is, how his wife would come to know that Pompium P. Pearson? The answer should be that this is Mrs. Fitzgerald, and Mrs. Fitzgerald generally goes to that club also. Probably he was also there to call Mr. George as Pompium P. Pearson, So this is actually Mrs. Fitzgerald. Sorry, this is actually Fitzgerald. And Fitzgerald knows that what people at the club, especially at the bar, they call Mr. George at his back. Probably he was one of them who called him Pompium P. Pearson at the club. And that is the reason that here, and now he was playing the role of his wife, means, what has happened in between. I'm not telling anymore. And now, actually, she told the husband that yes, the people call you Pompium P. Pearson. George horrified. Never! George was very much horrified, very much surprised, as if he was very hurt. Never! Now, wife told, it has always beaten me why you should want to spend so much time at a place where they are always laughing at you behind your back and calling you names. Now wife is telling that it always beaten me, means it always hurts me. I can't understand that why you always prefer to spend so much of time among the people in that place where they all laugh at you, leaving your wife at home night after night. And night after night you still go there. You have been insulted by them. They call you by different names. They actually make joke out of you. They laugh at you at your back. Still, you prefer to spend lots of time there. I can't understand why. Leaving your wife day after day, night after night at home. Instead of going with her, who doesn't make you look a fool? Instead of spending time with her, who always thinks that you are a dignified person, who always gives lots of honor to you. So you leave that wife night after night, and you go to a place where people call at your back by different name and laugh at you. Now Cyril enters right in that time. Cyril enters right with a glass of milk in one hand and a thick slice of cake in the other. George, almost dazed, he was very much surprised, actually, as if he could not do anything, turns to him appealingly. Now he was turning to his son because he wanted his son to support him. Now George, here Cyril, you have been with me to the club once or twice. Now as if actually George wants that his son should say that no, other people at the club, they don't call my dad Pompium P. Pearson. That George Pearson wants his son to say. Now that is why the son is asking, actually George Pearson asking his son, you have been with me to the club once or twice. Here actually father is asking to the son that you have been with the club once or twice. They don't laugh at me and call me Pompium P. Pearson, do they? Now he was asking to his son, that they don't laugh at me and they call me Pompey Pearson. Do they? Do they really call me? Do they really call me Pompey Pearson? Do they really laugh at me? That actually Pearson wants to know from his son. Now Cyril embarrassed, hesitates. Cyril was, perplexed. Cyril was very much confused. Hesitates. Go on, tell me. Do they? Do they? The father was asking repeatedly because the father wants that his son should answer that no, they don't call you Pompey Pearson and they don't laugh at you. That should be the desired answer of the father from the son. Now father, Cyril, embarrassed. Well, yes, Dad, I'm afraid they do. But here the son told, yes, Dad, I'm afraid to tell you that they do. Means they laugh, the people at the club, they laugh at your back and they call you Pompey Pearson. George slowly looks from one to other. He was looking to his wife, he was looking to his son. Looking to his wife, looking to his son. And staggered, he was very much surprised, perplexed, confused. Slowly, well, I'll be damned. I'll be damned means I'll be finished. I'll be finished. Understood? Today, up to this, I hope you have understood. It's a nice story. I hope you have understood. In our next class, again, we will continue where we are leaving it today. So thank you for joining my class. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.